Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your
Hello,
boy
hello.
Jamie,
And your girl Carlene.
and
Ha-
we
Sorry, go ahead.
and we are here for another episode of Carlene plus Jamie.
Yes, yes, we are. We hope that you all have had a wonderful week. We are back. I know we have had a sabbatical of sorts from being here, but we are super glad that we are back here in the space with all of you. So, we are again your mentors for the messy middle, and as always, we keep it real as possible, just so that we can help be the mentors we wish we had when we were younger in our marriage. And so, yet again, we're grateful that you're here.
Yeah, I'm happy that we're here. As you know, this has been a good week for me. Since the last time we were here, the Knicks were just entering the playoffs. Now they have ran through the playoffs. They have won 11 straight games. So I am on cloud nine right now. As you can see, I'm decked out in my next gear. So I'm loving that. I'm feeling that. And so it's been good. How have you been,
I've
Carlene?
been I've been great. I've been great. Just glad to be alive. And so for those of you who already know, we are super grateful for those of you who have been here in the space, rocking with us. And but for those of you who are new to this space, we ask that you go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We would love it. We would appreciate it, and share it with others. Share it with other couples who may be at the beginning of their marriage, in the middle, like the messy middle, like we are in. And so please go ahead and do us that solid. But we're going to jump right into the conversation, because this is a good one. As you know, that anytime, I know for Jamie, anytime I come to Jamie randomly and say, we need to talk, he automatically goes into like, what, why, what's going on? It's almost like not panic mode, but you definitely go into a mindset of like, oh gosh, what did I do wrong? Did I do something wrong? And so,
Yeah, that's it. I did something wrong. Whenever you want to talk to me, it's because I did something wrong. So it's
and that's
always
not always the case.
95% of the time it's not the case, but usually we need to talk. Whenever that those words "we need to talk" come out, it's not good. It's something serious because other than that, you just talk. But when you come with "we need to talk," it sends me into a spiral, and it just like makes my brain start going. Especially when you say "we need to talk" at this time, or
Right.
like so it's almost like when your parents are about to like your parents are like, I'm gonna see you when I get home. It's kind of
Yeah.
like that feeling.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And so, we understand that there should be I don't know, like a way to say that, right? Instead of having our spouses go into a spiral or frenzy of sorts mentally trying to figure out. I know that when Jamie says that, I'm trying to figure out ahead of time, like what is it that he has to tell me? Did I do something wrong? Is something going on? Like what exactly? Trying to get to the bottom of it. And so tonight's episode, we're going to we're going to kind of talk to you a bit about 5 of the things that we did in our conversation to help make it not seem so much of a frenzy, or so much of a, I don't know, like you're going crazy
Yeah,
when your spouse says we need to talk right
yeah,
now
yeah. So tonight's episode is all about how to have hard conversations without damaging your spouse,
without wrecking your
without
spouse.
wrecking your spouse. Yeah,
So maybe we had a season of where I'm not sure what I don't want to say. Let me not say I wasn't sure. I know what exactly where my mindset was, where I was mentally, but there was a period of time in 2023 where we were having a series of conversations that I initiated. And in me initiating the conversation, I guess this gives like a backdrop of where my mind was. So I felt like we got to a place in our marriage where I can literally bare my soul, right? If something came to mind, whether or not it was pretty or it was something that was ugly, something about Jamie or something about whatever, I felt comfortable enough to be able to share it with him. And nothing is wrong with that. I felt like I was leading with like, oh my gosh, this is the best feeling ever to be in a marriage where I can be vulnerable, I can be myself, I can share all of the things, even if they may hurt Jamie and they may hurt Jamie. Even if my words that I'm sharing, although they're coming from a safe, vulnerable space, even though the words that I say may wreck Jamie, I wasn't there. I was just more in a sense in a frame of mind of, yo, I'm so happy I have a safe space to share all of me. But in hindsight, it was it was a series of conversations that wrecked Jamie
Right. Right. It's a serious
to his
time.
core.
Yeah, to my core, and it's still like unforgettable. So
Mercy.
it still sticks with me. It still remember it. I still vividly remember it, and I also remember how I felt during that time. And so when you were like sharing, I think like it's always good when a partner can share how they feel in a safe space. But I think when you were sharing, it was more it felt more like about you getting it off your chest, knowing that I would listen, knowing that I would probably react a certain way, but I don't think it was considerate of how I felt or
Correct.
how it would make me feel to hear some of the things that you were saying
And
about
what
me.
and what's crazy is it came from a very good place. I felt like it came from a good place, right? Like I'm not intentionally seeking out to hurt you or harm you. It was literally me just saying, "Oh my gosh, this has been on my mind for some time." And I've never felt comfortable enough to share it with you before, but I feel comfortable now, right? That's a good thing. I feel great. I feel great sharing it with you because you're in my safe space, but I failed to recognize how it would make him feel. And I think when we have those hard conversations, that we first have to, let me say me, I first had to recognize the role that I might play, even though it's coming from a good place for me, the role that I may play in how it's damaging, what it is that he's feeling. Because I completely did not. I almost looked at him like, "What's wrong with you? Like, why are you upset, or why are you taking it this way? Like,
Right,
it's just
right,
my feelings. It's just my thoughts. Like, you know how I truly feel, but at the same time, the words that I was saying were very hurtful to him. And for me, I didn't see it as that. I just saw it as I'm just getting off my chest. And he's like, great for you, but for me, not so great.
right. Because I'm like in this. This is part of your liberation. This is part of your
Yes.
this new person that has come out that is free to speak. And one thing, if anybody knows me, I'm not going to say anything. I am usually just going to stay quiet. I'm not going to express how I feel. I'm just going to keep it moving. I will internalize everything and just figure out a way to just get over it. So I have to like in this season, I'm literally going through it mentally, but I'm also trying to be there for Carlene, for her to to unload whatever she wants to say, particularly about me, right? And our marriage and how I am and things that I'm doing or things that I can't do or things that I have done. And so it's just me just receiving this. And it was like almost every day. It was almost to a point where I felt that while you were saying these things, it felt like you were intentionally trying to like put the knife in my back and turn it more and more and more and more.
And again, it was never my intention, like, to do that, or I wasn't aware. Let me just put it out there. It was evident that I wasn't fully aware of the impact, the long lasting impact that my words may have. And I think that time, of course, as well as, maturity has afforded me the opportunity to understand that that being aware of not just it feeling good to me, like I'm good, but for him, not so good. And so it took me a while.
Yeah, because I think you apologized after
I did, because I was
your.
truly sorry. But I think it also, I'm sorry, I'm cutting into your words. Go ahead, say what you need to say
No,
if
no,
you
no.
need
I was
to.
just gonna say I
You're
think you
good?
apologized after. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what I was going to say was I what's crazy is I felt like it forced you to communicate to me what exactly it was that you were feeling. Because usually you'll kind of go silent for a few days. And I think you did. You did go silent for a few days. But I kind of kept asking you, like, are you okay? Like, what are you feeling? What are you thinking? Just kind of like keep pushing, keep prodding you to talk. Because if it were up to you, I probably wouldn't have even known the impact of my words. If I did, I felt like if I didn't keep asking you, like, are you good? I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, what did I do? This is what I meant. And just kind of really having to
Yeah, I know
do
what
that.
happened. You pushed me off a ledge. Like you pushed me to a breaking point.
Mercy,
And
Lord,
I don't think if
forgive
you
me.
remember, we were looking for the chairs for the theater. And I found the chairs, the extra chairs, and I had a U-Haul truck or something. I just know.
Yeah, you did have a U-Haul. U-Haul.
Yeah,
I
an
said a
event.
U-Haul.
I'm not gonna say what it was, but you said something to me when I came home to tell you I found the chairs or something like that. And you said something to me, and that like pushed me off the edge. It pushed me to a point where I couldn't take it no more. And it was something that you accused me of. And I think from then I was just like, oh hell nah. I can't I can't do this no more. I've been quiet. I've been trying to like listen and be there, but then it got to a point where it was just like enough is enough. And I think like I came back with the U-Haul truck with the chairs and you wanted to help me and I was like, don't touch anything. And I think I unloaded the chairs by myself. But it was that point was the breaking point where I was just like, all right, enough is enough. Me enough of me feeling like I was a punching bag. But you didn't see it that way. But I felt it like it was like, okay, I felt like you are really trying to diminish me and break me down.
Yeah. And man, of course, in hindsight, of course, we've talked about this before this conversation coming on here and talking about it. But I definitely wouldn't have known if you didn't say anything. And I think that is so important. Communication is so important. Like I feel like you could have stayed in silence and would have been like, and feeling all that you're feeling and kind of going into a dark space and spiraling and stuff like that. But it would not be. It would understanding that if you could have done that, you could have chosen to stay there, but you chose to like speak up or to say something, and it made a difference because I was able to see your perspective. Versus if you didn't do that, I would have been like, all is well. You know what I mean? You know
Right.
what I mean? Like it's great. Everything's great. How are you and Jamie? We're great. Like psh, nothing to complain about, nothing to talk about because I feel safe. I can share all that all of the deepest darkest parts of me. I can share it with him and it land on a soft heart. So
Yeah. Yeah, but it got too much. It was just too much for me to carry. And I think it's important for couples that are out there right now. Like you have to really be considerate. I feel like I love the fact that, you were comfortable enough to share what you were going through. But I also don't like the fact that I was not vocal enough to say, okay, you need to chill. Like, because I felt like the more free you were in expressing yourself is the is like the it's like the goalpost kept on moving. So it's almost like, yeah, all right, well, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say that, and it was like every day it was like another thing, and then it was cool. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go with it. But I think in hindsight, and I wonder too if it's because the personality that I have
Yeah, it's definitely your
that
personality.
makes you comfortable. Like I know people will always say like they can talk to me. Like I'm just a person that you can talk to because I just sit there and I just absorb. I remember this lady was like, "You need to be a counselor or a therapist," and I was like, "All right, whatever." But so I do feel like there's strengths in my personality, but I also think some of those strengths can be weaknesses. That the comfort level, and I love it that you're able to share, but then also knowing where is the line that's drawn to say, okay, that's enough. That's going too far. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there in that moment for me there wasn't a line because again, I feel free. I feel bless you. I feel open. I feel liberated in terms of like me always feeling like I can't share, like I'm sharing all of my heart. And so in hindsight, I feel like if I was in therapy in that moment, I probably would not have shared all that I've shared. Or I think I would be a little bit more aware or more mindful that this is something that, or be a little bit, be a lot more, I don't want to say strategic because that kind of leads on to being like it's not as genuine, but just be more sensitive. I think that's the word that I'm looking for. Be more sensitive to you and to how my words may make you feel. And I think that's something that I probably, therapy being with my counselor, she probably would have gotten me together in helping me figure out how to best communicate what I needed to communicate to you where you didn't feel what you felt. Because I think there's a part in communication like you can't communicate to the point where you are hurting the person that you love. You know what I mean? Like there should be limitations in that regard. Like it shouldn't be free willy or free nilly. And even if it is that your partner feels empowered enough to say, "Whoa, pause. Let's take a moment, and let's come back to that," or dig a little bit deeper in terms of like saying, "Why are you saying that?" or that may not necessarily be true, or help me understand that a little bit more. But I think like one of the rules that we use from that point, and you're the one that brought it into our marriage, is lead with I, not you. Because there was a lot of I feel this, and so I think that is important
Yeah.
to
So
make
that's
mention.
that's one of the 5 rules of when it comes to, talking to your partner. But I want to say this before I talk about the second rule, and that is, I think it's critical that spouses know that your person is not your therapist. Like, or I mean, you may be a trained therapist, but I don't even think it's healthy for a spouse to be a therapist to another spouse. And I think that was, and I think that was a barrier or a boundary I didn't or we didn't create, or at least for myself, to because I'm not going to therapy. I wasn't talking to anyone, so I don't have anybody to unload what I'm getting from Carlene. But I think what's important, at least for me, that I had to recognize that is that I am not your therapist, right? I am your ear, I am your supporter, I am your spouse, I am the one that's in the bleachers like go, 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 go.
Yeah.
But I'm not your therapist in a way that I don't have the tools to help you deal with whatever it may be. So I think it's important vice versa as well. Like I know that I'm not your therapist, right? I can't be your therapist because I'm just not don't got the skills for that. I'm a
Yeah.
good listener and we can be listeners to each other. So I think that's like critical.
Yeah.
Then when it comes to a boundary when it, in relationships and talk when we're trying to have hard conversations with each other without hurting each other. So I
Yeah.
think that's critical. But the second rule, right? So when it comes to talking to your partner, that is choose the moment, not just the mood. And I think that's so important because knowing your partner and understanding their personality, because you said it too, right? You were like, we need to talk right now. I want to get this off my chest, right?
Yes.
And it probably was not the best moment for me, or what I wasn't prepped. I
Right.
wasn't. It was just like, oh, okay, let's talk. And I'm thinking it's something, something like not about me, but it's just something that we can work out together, right? So I think it's important that when we're having hard conversations with our spouses, you got to choose the moment. You may be in the mood to talk, but is that mood right for that moment?
Right.
And it definitely, our situation, when that was happening, that was not the moment.
No, it wasn't. I didn't read the room clearly.
Yeah, the room.
I did not read the room. I think added on to what you just said, I think initially saying, "Hey, I would like to talk with you." Like, is there some time that you feel best for that we can have this conversation? It's going to require a little bit more than 30 minutes or an hour. Like, it's going to be a little bit extensive. Kind of like plan it out opposed to like right now. For me, unfortunately, and of course I had to learn this and I feel like I'm a lot better with it. But for me, it's like when I have something, when I want to say something, I want to say it now. Like I don't want to wait until the end of the night. I don't want to wait until when he's ready. I just want to say it now. And that's not fair. That's not fair to him because I want to make sure that he has the bandwidth. I want to make sure he has the capacity to be able to receive whatever it is that I'm going to share with him and vice versa. So I think that's important too, saying, hey, Jamie, I would like to talk to you. Does tonight work? Would tonight work? Or do you feel like maybe sometime this week, and giving him the choice or time and space to be able to prepare for whatever the conversation is.
Yeah, and I think it's okay to tell your partner, I would like to talk to you about this. Like
Right.
like
Be specific.
Be specific. Like so that they can prepare themselves for that conversation. Not just we need to talk. Because we need to talk leaves it open to speculation.
Yeah.
It leaves it open to, oh gosh, what did I do? Did I you like spiraling. It's the same thing like when your parents say, I'm gonna see you when we get home. And they may have a PlayStation 5 for you, right? So I think it's okay sometimes to say, I would like to talk to you about this, or we need to talk about blah, blah, blah.
It's kind of hard though, because in that moment, if I'm going back, I would say I like to talk to you about yourself, or I like to talk about our marriage. Like for me, if you say that, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm still doing the same spiraling. You know what I mean? Like I would do if you just came and said, I want to talk.
Or I would like to talk to you about some things that I've been observing. I don't know. I guess you'd have to read the room, choose the right to figure out like if it's okay to say, I want to talk to you about this.
Yeah. So another rule that Jamie and I have adapted from that season in our marriage is say what you need to, not just what hurt you. So for me, I led with a lot of I was hurt by this, you hurt me. When you did this, this hurt me. Years later, I'm bringing that up, right? I should have just said what I need from you in that moment, not in that moment, from that situation. Instead of saying, you didn't take the garbage out and you know it's your job to do it, opposed to saying, Jamie, I need for you to please, if you can please, take the garbage out when it needs to be taken out, so that where I don't feel like I have to do this strenuous thing that I don't necessarily feel like I should be doing.
Yeah.
Right? But just like state what it is that I need, not what it is that you did wrong.
Yeah, because that's one of the things that we talk about when we do counseling. Like, say what you need and how it would make you feel.
Yeah.
And it's up to that other person to repeat what they heard, and to repeat what they heard, and then to say, I can do that, right? So I think it's always important to just say, what is it that you need in this moment? Like, I understand how you're feeling, we're talking, but in coming to it, like, that is the way you come to a solution.
Yeah.
Right? That's how the way to figure out, like, there were things that, and there were things that I think that during that time that you said that I don't even know if I responded properly or how I responded, or I don't know if there were solutions that were met, because thinking back on it, I just felt like I was just listening.
Yeah, you were definitely listening, but there were conversations that because you're the one that instituted the say what you need, like, what do you need, and repeat it and say I, so that it would be better understood, where you understand, where you're repeating it because you understood what it was that I was saying, and that it was almost like you acknowledged it, and I felt, we did that exercise, or those exercises, which helped tremendously, because it did a lot for us in our communication and in our marriage.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So what are we up to? Number 4 or number 5?
This is number 4.
This is number 4. Okay. Repair before you sleep.
So we did not repair before we slept. And this went on for like a whole week. There were nights where, like, we were sleeping on the opposite sides of the bed, because I felt free, but I felt this heaviness from him.
I felt shackled.
That was get the shackles. where I felt the heaviness from him, and he was distancing himself, quietly distancing himself. And so we did not follow that until we realized, like, being in a marriage, and the bed being something for us that's sacred, in that we find rest, we find intimacy in that space, in the bed, we find restoration. There's so much that comes with being in the bed with each other. And so we recognize that before we go to sleep, as much as possible, we may not solve the problem. The problem may not be solved, but we recognize that we have to come to a place where there isn't this tension or this animosity between each other. There isn't, like, as a heaviness. Like, I'm aware, like, he's going to make me aware of, like, yeah, this is what I'm feeling. Oh, that's what you're feeling. I'm so sorry that you're feeling that. However, we're going to pray and we're going to cuddle and go to sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think in that season, I was just trying to recover. It was almost like being in a boxing ring. I was just trying to recover. And then I also felt like we said this when we were preparing for the show, like, I felt like in that season you didn't like me anymore.
Yeah.
So I was like, why am I going to even, like, try to, like, be next to you or whatever? I might just hear you say, get away from me, or you might just move away. So I just, like, you know what, to be safe rather than sorry, because the one thing that I don't like is rejection, right? So, and I'm sure most men,
Right.
or most people, right, don't like rejection. So you kind of, you have your guard up to protect yourself from that feeling. So I think like for me, it was more of, I didn't feel like, you wanted to be next to me, and then also too, I was just getting ready for whatever may come next. Like just getting my strength up to just keep on going through, getting through it for the next day and for whatever else that you wanted to get off of your chest.
This conversation was so deep that Jamie revealed to me that if I had said that I was done, like I wanted to quit our marriage, I wanted a divorce, that he would understand. And I was just like, wow. It was literally me. It was rooted in me literally feeling free to express myself in my marriage, to feel safe and seen, to be able to say I can say this, and not to say that he's gonna be like, oh my gosh, thanks for sharing. This is so great. Oh my gosh, thank you. But for it to not feel how it said it made him feel. And so
Yeah.
of course my heart, of course my heart plunged because I was just like, oh my gosh, my brain wasn't even there. My brain was literally in, I'm free.
Yeah. Because, it goes back to that, what we talked about, choose the moment, not the mood. So you're taking into consideration that season. That season I was pastoring. It was a difficult time in my pastorate. It was a difficult time in I think just a lot of things going on. And I had already felt like in those areas I was not performing like I wanted to, right? I don't feel like I was in the stride or I was in the groove, that I was like kind of messing up, like in everything. So to know that I'm in my marriage and I'm not performing well there either. So you put all of that together,
Yeah.
it's almost like, yo, I get it, man. It's just that season, right? When you're in a slump, me pastoring, I'm not at my sharpest. Me in marriage, I'm not at my sharpest life. So everything was just coming, hitting. And so that's why it's so important to not just like, when you're choosing the moment, that you take into consideration everything that your partner has going on, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you have a partner that doesn't talk a lot.
Yeah.
A partner that just like puts their head down and they just keep on grinding and going. You really, really need to be sensitive, because all that weight, you know, thank God I'm not suicidal, or thank God that I'm not like impulsive to just run and make crazy decisions. But that would have been a season that would have probably had just led me to be like, you know what, bump this. Ain't nothing good happening right now, so
Yeah.
I'll be better off. You'll be better off without me, and just live your life.
Yeah, yeah. And even now, as we talk about it, like I feel all the emotions coming back of like being sincerely sorry, or just apologetic for that, because I did not read the room. There were definitely things happening that my awareness was not where it needed to be. There was some dissonance happening. You know what I mean? Like, and I think sometimes in marriage, like it's so easy to point the finger at your spouse, or even point the finger where it's like, you're like, it's all about me, right? It's all about me. It's my season. It's my time. But we're not failing to recognize, like, great, you're in your season, but recognize that sometimes what you say, how you express what it is that you say, and how you express it to your spouse may not be the best time. And that takes work within yourself to be like, ooh, let me pull back, or ooh, this may not be, this is not necessary to be said now. Maybe let me wait for another time. But it takes work to be able to come to that place to say, I don't need to say this right now. Yeah, I feel like I need to, right? Because it's right here. It's right here. I feel like if I don't say it, I'm about to explode. However, it is not about you always. It's not always about you. And this thing called marriage is a partnership, and I failed to recognize that. And we're hoping that this episode, for any of you that are watching and you're like in your marriage and things are kind of topsy turvy,
Topsy turvy,
where you kind
turvy
of feel
topsy.
like there's so much tension. You're having hard conversations, and you're just like you don't know how to basically say what you need to say, and but understanding, being aware of your. I think going to counseling is something that's probably one of the
Critical.
it's one of the better things that I would suggest, that I wish I did in hindsight. Going to therapy and being able to have a space to express that, and learning how to express that the right way, especially with whether it's a spouse, whether it's a cousin, an auntie, a mother, a father, whomever. So our last rule is stay in the room even when it's uncomfortable. Even when it's uncomfortable, stay in the room. It's okay to say, I need like 5 minutes or I need 20 minutes, but this conversation needs to be finished. Like, we need to finish this conversation. It's okay to say that. But I think staying in the room, even when it's uncomfortable, is so important. Like, the worst thing Jamie could have done was storm out the room, right? That would have probably, we would have been in marriage counseling. Like, we would have been going through, right? Or maybe, I don't know what would have happened, but the fact that he stayed in the room, in the conversation, even though it was very uncomfortable for him, mattered. And again, nothing's wrong with saying time out, pause, give me a moment, let's come back to this. And you saying, we need to finish this conversation. Don't just say, I'm just leaving. State that the necessity of this conversation being had, and not necessarily come to a conclusion, but we need to get to a point where we can repair before we go to sleep. And so I feel like that was another rule that came about as a result of that very hard
Yeah,
season.
yeah. And I'll say, like, I think stay in the room has like a broader, like, I think of it in a broader context too,
Teach.
with stay in the room as stay in the marriage. Like, don't run. Like, I think that during that season, it was tempting, as Carlene stated, that if like, so if I, like you said, if what we talked about, if you had said that you didn't want this anymore, I would have been okay with it. But there was never a moment during that difficult time where I was like, I'm done, or I want to walk away. And I knew that I didn't want to walk away or say I'm done or separate, because I still believe in the vows that we made, that we're in this together. So no matter what it was, no matter what it is, no matter how hard it is, I'm going to stay in the room, because I committed before you, before our parents, but most of all before God, that we're going to fight through this marriage. Now, if you said you didn't want it, I'd still fight for it, but I'm not going to hold you because you wanted to. And then I also knew deep down that you were going to stay in the room as well. I knew deep down that, in spite of all of that, whatever, because honestly, what's funny is that season reminded me of the season that we went through before we got engaged, when you had put me through that spin cycle. It just reminded me of it, right? And so
Yeah.
I always knew that if I got through that spin cycle, and that we're here in all these years and our kids, that we were fully invested in each other. So when I think about stay in the room, I think about staying through the difficult, like that movie Fireproof. You never leave your partner in the fire, like you're in it together. Now, but I also say as a caveat that if you are being abused,
Right.
physically and emotionally, and it's getting to a point or a place where you are contemplating suicide or it's damaging you, then you do not need to stay in the room. But I think I always knew that, even though what Carlene was saying to me at the moment, at the time, was hard, I knew that you loved me, and I knew that you were committed to this marriage, and I knew that we would get through it, and that it's easier to run than it is to stay in the room, even if it's uncomfortable. So I think I just wanted to drop that.
Whew, thank you for that. That broader perspective, that broader lens of what staying in the room is. And I think that's what marriage is staying in the room when things get uncomfortable, when things get hard, because they will. And you're literally like, oh my gosh, like, what is this? And it requires so much work, not only between yourselves, but so much of this, of working on yourself and making mistakes, and your spouse having the grace to be able to forgive you and to almost like reinstate, Jamie reinstated me, not that that's a word that comes to mind, but like as a result of, that season that we had, like nothing changed. I think if anything, our communication became that much stronger, because I feel like he, in spite of it, like he extended the grace, but as not but, and he also, we were able to better, or more deeply love each other for who we are, and see that sometimes our weaknesses are actually our strengths, and that we can make it work in spite of. So, yeah, we
Yep.
are glad. Anything? Sorry, you wanted to
No, I
say?
was just gonna say that's part of the messy middle. It's a part of you're gonna have to go through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so thank you guys so much for rocking with us for this conversation. This was not an easy conversation. Sharing it was not easy. It wasn't one of our easy conversations to have, but we understood that it needed to be had. And
I thought you were gonna say we understood the assignment.
yeah, that's like old though. Nobody
Yeah,
really
that's,
says that anymore.
yeah,
It's
I
like kind of
agree. That's
played out.
old. That's whack.
Okay,
That's whack.
I didn't know that you were going to go there. But again, thank you guys for rocking with us. For those of you who have stayed on this long, please go ahead and
Like, subscribe, comment,
all the things.
share.
Yes, to our YouTube channel, as well as Instagram or TikTok. You can find us there as well. But we hope that you all have a wonderful evening. This is your girl, Carlene.
This your boy Jamie.
Peace.
Peace. Check out the hat. Check out the hat. Check out the hat.
Oh, gosh.
Check it out. Peep that. That's what we talking about right there.